2015 was a significantly more enjoyable year for gaming than 2014 was, and so, since everyone's throwing out their own opinions on what the year's best and worst were, I figured why not throw my hat in the ring. So without further delay, this is my top 5 games of 2015. Number 5. Bloodborne. As someone who doesn't have the patience to get good, yet sincerely enjoys the lore, atmosphere, combat, and overall feel of the Souls titles, Bloodborne felt like a blessing in disguise. Somehow, I was inexplicably adequate at this game, and that made it all the more enjoyable. A heavy emphasis on dodging and opportune striking rather than blocking and spells really appealed to me, and led to a game that gave me hours and hours of enjoyment. Number 4. Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat 4 was, for a very long time, my absolute favorite MK title. That may be the nostalgia talking, as it was one of my first PlayStation games ever, but I always thought the 3D style, cheesy FMV cutscenes, and awesome camera rotations, as well as a bitching soundtrack made it a million times better than any of the extremely meh PS2 titles that came after it. Mortal Kombat 9 really impressed me with its complete story reboot, and since it covered Mortal Kombat 1 through 3 in one title, I was excited to see what the next game would bring and how it would handle 4. Needless to say, I was not let down in the slightest. While MKX does have a very short story mode, it more than makes up for it with faction wars, living towers, traditional arcade mode, and a very active online community. This may also be the most fluid and smooth combo system any MK title has ever had, and even though characters like Jarek, Fujin, Reiko, and Kai were cut out, I think that may have been for the best. Seeing cameos from Deadly Alliance characters Boraicho, Lee May, and Frost were cool though, and hopefully they'll be playable in the future. Number 3. Until Dawn. Until Dawn was a game that honestly completely came out of nowhere, and in my opinion isn't getting nearly as much recognition as it deserves. Yes, the game is cheesy, yes, the acting is corny, yes, a lot of the plot makes no sense and seems really out of place, but that's how it's supposed to be. It's a game made by classic horror fans for classic horror fans. To quote Jim Sterling, it took what Heavy Rain was trying to do and did it right. It actually felt like you were playing a movie, and some of the decisions were actually really clever, like, for example, early on in the game you have the option to shoot a squirrel. If you do, that can completely come back and screw you over long after you've forgotten about it. And it's honestly something so insignificant that why would you think about it? But that's part of the charm. Until Dawn had me hooked from start to finish, and if you can take it for what it is and laugh along with it, then you're in for a really awesome time. Number 2. Batman Arkham Knight. This was honestly a nice wrap-up to the Arkham series. Yes, the gameplay was familiar, the mechanics were familiar, the story was alright at best, and a lot of us have Gotham mapped out by memory at this point, but it was its familiarity that made it so good. They knew that this would be Batman's final Arkham adventure, so they knew there would really be no point in introducing a bunch of new convoluted mechanics. This was a send-off, and an extremely well done one. I know people are really divided on this, but I greatly enjoyed my final ride with the Dark Knight. Honorable mentions. Honorable mentions for this list go out to The Witcher 3, Halo 5, Super Mario Maker, Guitar Hero Live, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and Persona 4 Dancing All Night. All of which are extremely great games, but I either didn't finish them to completion, or didn't think they were as good as the rest of the games on this list. Number 1. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This game has issues. There's no denying that, and there's no avoiding it. Everyone and their grandma knows about the drama between Konami and Kojima. Everyone knows how half-assed the second half of the game was. Skullface was an absolutely pathetic excuse for a villain. All exposition was given through optional cassette tapes. With the exception of Quiet, not a single memorable character was introduced. Missions and side ops were extremely repetitive. Having to wait 36 actual minutes for something to be developed or an hour and a half for a base expansion to be built is bullshit, to be blunt. The microtransactions are completely unnecessary, and any upcoming DLC will be absolute shit. The only way for this game to be fixed and be called a true Metal Gear game will be for Kojima to somehow be able to release a director's cut, but that probably won't happen. However, if you ignore all of that and don't look at it as a Metal Gear game and just take it for what it is, there's something very enjoyable here. The open world allows you to take on missions in any way that you like, so if you prefer the classic stealth action, then by all means do that. If you want to go full Call of Duty and charge in like an idiot, then go for it. The buddy system was great, and D-Dog was extremely helpful in the finding wandering Mother Base soldiers and mine-clearing side ops. Quiet was great backup for prisoner extractions, and D-Horse was just a convenient mode of transport. All of the upgrades you can make to your equipment is really cool in giving you more freedom on how you want to tackle things. When all is said and done, you have to ask yourself, is the Phantom Pain a great game? And no, it's not. It's not even a good Metal Gear game. But on its own merits, it is a good game, and it's the game I had the most fun playing in 2015. And so there you have it, my top 5 games of 2015. I'm sure you're more than anxious to tell me how wrong I am or how stupid I am, so please feel free to do so in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.